G'day there guys, Marky here, and welcome back to another episode of r/relationship advice, stories on Reddit. I do hope you enjoyed today's stories, and with that said, I want you to sit back, relax, chuck a prawn on the barbie, and let's just get right into it. Posted by user ExpoJXD, titled, Am I the asshole for masturbating after my 25 male girlfriend, 26 female, refused sex? Well, yesterday I tried to initiate sex with my girlfriend, but she refused. This has been happening for the last few months, since we've had sex only 2 times in the last 3 months. I tried to convince her and told her that if she didn't want it in the morning, we could do it at night, but when she said no for the second time, I understood that she had no interest in doing anything with me at that time, so I decided to leave and head to work. After a longer day than usual, I arrived home at around 11 p.m. and my girlfriend was asleep, so I decided to sleep on the couch. Already on the couch, I was watching TV to try and relax and sleep. Since I haven't had sex in almost a month, I was a little bit stressed about that too, so I turned off the TV and started to masturbate. Although a few seconds later, my girlfriend came out of the room because she was woken up by the noise of the TV and she caught me in the act. Since I had my eyes closed, I didn't realize until she yelled at me about what I was doing. I told her that I was just in the mood for an orgasm. She yelled at me about being a cheater, looking for pleasure in other women, and asked me if she wasn't enough. I reminded her that in the morning she said she wasn't in the mood and clarified that she wouldn't want anything, and that at night I wasn't looking for her either. I just decided not to bother her. She told me that if I really wanted to have sex, I could insist or just wake her up to have intimacy. I told her that she didn't want to have sex for the last few months, and that I was fine with that, and I didn't need her to do anything that she didn't want to do. She seemed surprised for a few seconds before asking me to go to a hotel that was nearby and then spend the night there. I told her that she was exaggerating the situation and that it was something unimportant in the relationship. She stood firm and told me to leave and come back tomorrow after work. With nothing else to do, I took my backpack with my computer and I left the house. I was upset today at work because of everything that happened, and my boss noticed me distracted. So she asked me what was wrong, and since I trust my boss a lot because she's a woman who has helped me a lot in the past, I told her what happened. And to my surprise, she was on my girlfriend's side. Not totally, but she told me that this was a lack of respect towards my girlfriend and that I was throwing it in her face that she is not enough. I also told my best friend, and she told me that I'm the bad guy because in my last relationship, I was used to being intimate on a daily basis, even more than once a day, and that my girlfriend may have felt pressured to have sex with me during this time, more than she is actually comfortable with. The possible fact that I was almost forcing my girlfriend to have sex during the beginning of our relationship made me nauseous. My girlfriend is not a bad person. She makes a lot more money than me and also has more free time, so she takes care of most of the expenses, the apartment is hers, and at the beginning of our relationship when I was going through a bad financial situation, she asked me to move in with her because she was lonely, even though I know it's because she knows that I couldn't make ends meet. She helps me when she can to make it easier for me to study for my second career, even using her free time to help me to do my work without me asking her to. She's a kind person that everyone loves. I doubt that anyone who knows her could say something bad about her. Since 3 of the women that I respect the most in the world tell me that I'm very bad, I can't help but think that I'm the one who is bad. Today, I don't think I'm going home either. I'm going to give my girlfriend time to think things over. I sincerely believe that she's going to break up with me, and she has every right. I don't know what I expect by posting here, but it's a way to let off some steam. Sorry for the spelling mistakes. English is not my first or second language, and I'm really stressed out. In the comments, Unable Selection says, You got thrown out for having a wank after months of limited intimacy. She's power tripping, and your boss and best friend are clowns. After months of limited intimacy doesn't even matter in my opinion. We are people with our own needs, desires, and agencies over our bodies. Nobody gets to tell us that we can't have a wank whenever the hell we want to. If your partner masturbating is a deal breaker for someone in a relationship, I would seriously encourage them to have a look at why, because none of that sounds healthy. If wanking too much makes you want to have less sex in the relationship than what your partner needs, then sure, there is a valid conversation to have about why someone would rather wank than be intimate, but it should never be in the form of, as long as you're with me, I can't allow you to wank off. Because that's just straight up controlling for no reason. Wanking off is not shameful. Not the asshole. She is toxic and gaslighting you. You have needs, you didn't force anything, you do you. Literally. Also, move on. Find a partner that doesn't do this shit. Skill issue with setting the volume level of the TV though. OP replies, I didn't think that she would wake up, since most of the time when I'm up late and she's already asleep, I sleep on the couch and watch TV, and I didn't turn up the volume. You discussing this with a female at work is absolutely risky. Not the asshole. You weren't rolling around on her couch with another woman. You were having an intimate moment with your hand. It's normal, it's natural, and what the hell else does she expect after not having sex with you for more than a couple of times in the last few months? I don't understand women who refuse to have sex with their boyfriends and husbands, but then lose their minds when they find them masturbating. I would rather catch my husband masturbating every single night than out banging other women. Your girlfriend and the other women in your life that you respect so much are wrong. This is the most ridiculous thing that I've heard in a long time. Go home and rub one out on the couch. Keep your eyes open so that you can look her in the face when she catches you. I'm so evil. OP says, thanks for the first part of the comment, but lol for the second part. Come back and let us know how it goes. OP says, if you want an update, you'll get it, but I doubt I'll be doing anything on the couch in this apartment. And now, on to the update. Well, this publication reached further than I thought. Not at the level of great publications of this platform, but it had more interactions than I thought. Thank you all for your advice and help. I really appreciate it. It's amazing to see so many perspectives and opinions. Also, to the people who called me an asshole, even if they were not many, and it was mainly by message, I think I have to clarify some things about the previous post. If you want to just read the update, you can skip this part. First of all, I love my girlfriend. She is the person that I have loved the most in all my life. We've been together for a little more than 4 years, and in all the relationship, I've not been able to find more than a slight problem or fight that was solved quickly. Many people have told me that she's a manipulator, and she wants to control me, and also that she's a cheater, using not very nice words towards her. Well, you're all wrong about her, and you will see later. Second, my girlfriend earns more money than me. Yes, she does a lot for me. And no, I clarified in some comments that basically my girlfriend pays her college loan and the house payments. The rest I take care of. She still spends more, but since she's paying for the apartment that she bought, I can't help her, mainly because she's proud and does not let me. If you're interested, she currently earns a little more than double what I earn, although this was not always so. She was promoted at work, and I changed about 2 years ago to learn some more of my second career. Since everyone pays their debts, we have never had a problem regarding money. Thirdly, I tried to talk to my girlfriend about this for the 3 months that this problem lasted, but she always avoided the subject or changed it. I took her to surprise appointments, got her flowers, sent drawings of her to her work, etc. I also want to clarify that we do not belong to any religion. Her family is Christian, but we are both atheists. Fourth, I did talk to men about it, although I didn't tell them the whole story. The only people I told the whole truth to was my boss and best friend. That's why it weighs so much on me. I trust them both completely, and I consider them more like family than strangers. I think I was wrong. I wrote this with the emotion of the moment. So after sleeping the second night away from home, I'm now much calmer reading all the comments and reviewing the story in my head. I realize that they both don't see me in the same way that I see them. They are important friends to me, but on the other hand, I doubt they consider me their friend. A friend does not make you feel like you are an rapist. Fifth, 2 girls told me by message that they should put me in prison for what I tried to convince. I think I explained myself wrong. By tried to convince, I mean trying to start a second time. Literally, the conversation was, I really want to be with you, my love. Is there anything that you want to do? and she said no, and the conversation ended there. I understand that my words were misinterpreted, and I apologize for that. Now to the update. I would like to say that this is a happy update, but it's not. Well, today, I decided to skip work and went to my apartment, and when I got there, my girlfriend was there. You could tell that she was crying. She looked at me, and we just hugged for a while. When we separated, she started apologizing and saying that she shouldn't have said that, and she never meant to say that I was a cheater. I had planned to ask some questions that I got from the comments, but first I just asked her why everything. She came closer to me and hugged me as if she didn't want to let go, and started crying very hard. It was the most heartbreaking cry that I've ever heard in my life. I didn't know what to do. I was very clear about what I wanted to tell her, but hearing her cry like that, I can't even breathe. After what seemed like hours, she separated from me and went to the room in silence. I was about to follow her, but I decided to give her space. I heard how she opened a drawer, and then she came back with some papers in her hand, and walking very slowly, as if she had a lot of weight on her. And when she arrived, she sat down on the sofa in front of me and extended the papers to me. I took it and read them. They were medical exams from 3 months ago. I read them without understanding until I got to an underlined part that said, "Total incapacity to have children." Reading those words froze me, and my girlfriend realized my reaction and started to cry again. She tried to stand up, but I pulled her into a hug and held her while she cried. To be honest, the cheating option doesn't sound so bad right now. I wasn't too sure about having children because I don't know if I would be a good father. But on the other hand, my girlfriend, whenever she sees a child, seems to become a ray of sunshine. Children love her. I've seen babies leave their mother's side to follow my girlfriend. From the beginning, she said that when she was 28, she wanted to have her first child. She talked about their names and what she expected from them. To see that happiness being taken away from her is something that I never want to experience again. After a long time hugging her until she calmed down, she started to talk. She said she didn't tell me because she was afraid that I would leave her, that during the last few months, she was ignoring the news. But when having sex, she couldn't stop thinking about the fact that she could never be a mother. This led her to feel very insecure about herself, that when she saw me masturbating, she felt useless and got angry with herself and exploded. She felt bad for not feeling well enough to have sex, and that it only increased when I made an effort to please her. I let her talk, even though it was not necessary, but I still wanted to make it clear that I would listen to her. I told her that she would never be insufficient for me, that I love her, and I asked her forgiveness for not realizing her bad state and that something bad was happening with her. Although she says that she herself ignored it and was not aware of the pain that this caused her, I cannot stop blaming myself for not realizing it. I told her that we would begin to take individual therapy. At the beginning, this was a proposal to save the relationship, but I think it's more important to heal ourselves first. We are both very badly emotional. When we are better, we can go to couples therapy. She just accepted and let me keep caressing her. That day, none of us went into work, and I ordered her favorite food from home. I stayed with her all the time. We both needed a hug. Now she's asleep, so I can write this. I really wish the update was me finding out that she was unfaithful and planned revenge. It would be much less destructive than seeing the woman you love lose one of her dreams. I don't think I'll update this story for a while, unless something relevant happens, and I need advice. I want to focus on helping my girlfriend. I wasn't sure about having kids, but I knew if it were to happen, I knew that I wanted it to be with her. We will both start therapy this weekend. I called her work to ask for time off for a personal circumstance. They were very nice and didn't ask why. Then I called mine and asked for the same thing and to be moved to another branch. The senior boss is a nice old man who can be trusted and told me that it was okay. I won't talk to either my friend or my boss again. My friend tried to talk to me today, but when I got her call, I blocked her number. My girlfriend doesn't know about this post or what I talked about with my friends, and I don't think she'll tell her. She would want to know what they thought of her, and it wouldn't be good. Thank you all for your advice and support. Sorry for the mistakes. I don't have the head to write well, so most of this will be translated from Italian to English. Sorry if it reads weird. In the comments, Fitwork4558 says, when you both go through therapy, you can speak to her about adoption. It's a long process, but it's a possibility. Or if the issue is her uterus and not her eggs, you can get a surrogate if you really wanted a blood-related child. I'm assuming it's costly, but I haven't looked it up, so you would have to do your own research. Best of luck to you. Jumping on what some others have said, there's a lot of ways to be a parent. My mom had medical issues, and after several miscarriages and finding out that she couldn't have kids, they adopted me. When my wife and I first started trying to have kids, things weren't happening. Eventually we realized we needed medical intervention. We started the tests, and there was a me problem. After further trying without success, they did more testing and there was also a her problem. In the end, we used donor eggs, and she was able to carry our twins. But for 10 years, as my family and her family, siblings and cousins and friends, all got pregnant, it was an emotional battlefield. Every time someone else announced a pregnancy or a second pregnancy, she just fell apart. So no matter what you decide to do about kids going forward, she's going to have a hard time for a long time, and she's going to need you to help keep her spirits up and keep going sometimes. And you're going to need help sometimes too. Like others have said, therapy, therapy, therapy. Good luck and the best to you both. Why don't you know if you would be a good father? Because dude, if you have a good reason to think that you'll be an unfit parent, it's probably better to be honest about it to your girlfriend now. She might feel bad because of that news, and I understand that you don't want to hurt her, but she will feel way worse if you spring it upon her in the future when you have the opportunity to have a child, through adoption, medical help, or whatever, or if you're a shit dad to your kid. OP says, just like she from the beginning said that she wanted to be a mother, I told her that I wasn't sure. To be a good parent, you must have an example to follow. In my case, I would just be doing whatever I think is right, and I might spoil my son for not wanting what I do. She understands that, and said that we would talk about kids later. But unfortunately, this situation forced us to talk about it, and clearly I will address that in therapy. I'm glad this has a potentially positive outcome, but I confess I'm stuck on the fact that OP discussed his masturbatory habits with his female boss. I could see it. I've had bosses in the past that I probably could have talked to like that. Not my current boss, though. The friend and the boss were so over the line that I would be blocking them both too. Since when is masturbation cheating? I'd be effing relieved if my partner was whacking himself off instead of having some girl bounce about on him. She's lucky that he never left her for that behavior. Unfortunately, it's not exactly uncommon. I've had dates with a few women who expressed that sentiment. It baffled me that they so casually thought controlling what I did with my body was okay. That is crazy. It's your body. As long as it's just you, then it's not cheating. If someone tried to tell me what to do with my body, they wouldn't like my reply. Unexposed is by user Automatic Trick, titled, Am I the asshole for giving my ex-girlfriend her tickets for Taylor Swift, but cancelling everything else? I'm working overseas right now, and I managed to get tickets for Taylor Swift in Singapore. The concert is this coming Saturday. My plan was to fly my girlfriend over for a little vacation. It's a long ways from Connecticut, so she was going to be staying for 10 days. I was clear, and I told her that we would have 2 weekends together as well as the evenings, but that I still had to work during the daytime. Last week, she called me and said that she was not okay with being long distance, and that after the concert, we were over. I asked for clarification. She said she would come for the 10 days and we could have fun, but that we were done. I can have fun without paying for it. I transferred her the one ticket and cancelled everything else. She called me to scream at me for cancelling the flight and hotel. I told her that I wasn't going to discuss it and hung up. I blocked her on everything. I'm hearing back from people at home that she has lost her shit. She's been bragging about getting to see Taylor Swift and the vacation. Now she's telling everyone that I cancelled the plans just out of the blue. I guess that is sorta true. I didn't discuss it with her before I made my decision and did what I did. I unblocked her long enough to offer to buy the ticket back if she wasn't going to use it. That conversation was unpleasant and involved a lot of profanity. The upshot was she would rather let it go to waste than let me have it. Her friends have been defending her and calling me an asshole. My position is that I would feel like a John flying her over for fun. In the comments, No Contribution 9322 says, "Not the asshole, but why did you give her the ticket when you had paid for it? Should have kept it and taken someone else. She was just using you as a sugar guardian. Hopefully you find someone that you deserve soon." OP says, "It was a gift. I know it's stupid, but I promised her that ticket." You're a good dude. Don't let crazy tell you otherwise. Not the asshole for cancelling all the expenses paid vacation, but you're the asshole to yourself for wasting the ticket by sending it to her. OP says, "The ticket was a birthday gift." What in the world did she expect pre-dumping you before her trip? If you're going to be a gold digger, then at least be a smart gold digger. That's my thoughts with this. Eras tour tickets are not cheap, much less adding international flights and hotels. I know that it would be even shittier to pretend to still be into him for the 2 weeks that she's there, but if she wanted the vacation that bad, she should have sucked it up for 2 weeks and then broken up with him when she got home. Terrible and shitty to use him like that, and she definitely did him a favor. But like you said, be a smart gold digger. Not the asshole. Really bizarre behavior, and it seemed like she was trying to use you. I mean, paying for flights across continents ain't cheap, so there's that angle. I just don't see why she would fumble that opportunity by telling you before the trip and not on the trip towards the end. Her mistake saved you in the end. Yeah, I thought the same thing. Why did she tell him this now instead of after the concert? Maybe she's not the brightest bulb. Or maybe she didn't want to feel guilty about taking the trip under false pretenses and assumed that fun would be motivating enough for OP. And now, on to the update. So my ex sold me back her ticket at face value. She couldn't find anyone interested in paying for her flight and hotel over. I didn't want to see Taylor Swift, but it was easy to sell a pair of tickets for a nice bit of change. I wish I had more to tell. I wish I could say that I went to the concert and met a lovely woman that my ex sold the ticket to. I wish I could say that my ex flew out on her own dime to win me back at the concert. None of that would be true. I made some money selling something that I bought for a woman that I thought I was going to marry. I'm glad that I found out what sort of person she really is before I made that mistake. Sorry that this isn't more exciting, and thanks to everyone for helping me see my way through this. In the comments, Icy Growth says, "That's a great ending. You didn't get effed over for life, you made money, and got a life experience for the next round. If you ask me, you did great. Chin up." Hey, this isn't just some story, this is your life. I'm just happy that you stood up for yourself and are sticking to your guns. Girl, keep your mouth shut for 10 days. How hard is that? Well, she didn't want to have sex with him, I'm betting. Some of the commenters on the original post think that she wanted him to beg and take off work to try to woo her back. I mean, my daughter is a Swiftie. I guarantee she could keep her mouth shut for 100 days if it meant seeing Taylor Swift. Who gives a pre-breakup warning to someone and then expects the person to still provide an all-expense-paid trip? A quick little, just so you know, we have 10 days before we aren't dating anymore. She's out of her mind. If I were him, I would have told everyone that she admitted to using me for a free trip and concerts, and then planned to break up that same trip. And that's where I'm going to end today's episode, guys. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, let me know what you thought of it in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.